I haven't been stalling, but I haven't necessarily been excited to share this update. Let me take you in and show you what's going on. First thing's obvious, I'm in a new area. I brought everything upstairs because I was afraid that the basement was just getting too cold, and it was, especially at night, dropping too cold for all the seedlings. You can see that the peppers were turning purple. And, these ones especially, the jalapenos never did. And some of the hot wax, they were turning purple as well. So instead of trying to fit everything on a heat mat on the rack downstairs, trying to keep them warm, I just wanted to bring them up here where I had some extra space in my little office area. So that was update number 1 in my little troubleshooting journey. I did that. I posted on Facebook a picture of my peppers and said, hey, is this normal? They're pretty purple. I mean, they're not just a little purple, they're pretty purple. And people are reassuring me that yes, that's normal. Some varieties do that. Mine turned purple last year and still had a great success with them. So just keep trucking ahead. So I did that. Then I posted again because a lot of, what was it? I think my onions. I don't even want to show the onions. The onions were looking not actually this bad. They got worse. But they were pretty much halfway there. And I posted about these, and I just honestly posted a picture of my whole setup and said, hey, I'm a first-time seed starter. This is what I've got going on. Any suggestions? And 50% of people said to fertilize now. I did mention how I used the Cocoa Core block, and I didn't add anything else to it. I just left it as it came rehydrated. So I mentioned that. I said they're not getting any fertilizer. They're not getting anything in the medium that I have them in. Should I be fertilizing now, or should I wait until they have their first true leaves? And 50% of people said yes to it now. 50% of people said no, wait until, they have their first leaves to do it. So I had that. Almost everybody said that my lights were too far away. So I dropped the lights down until they were here instead of here, And then I went away for the weekend, went to visit some family. So I watered them before I left, and I gave them a few well wishes and went on my way. And when I came home, everything looked really, really angry. Everything was turning yellow. It was dried out, obviously, I think just from the warmth. And I panicked. I really panicked. And I went through and I fertilized everything. That was kind of my final hope. Like, I think these things are going to die anyway, so let's just see what fertilization can help. And I did take some videos right when I got home, so I'll try to put those in here so that you can see what I was working with. I just showed you the onions. Those are really looking bad. So what I did do is got some more seeds and retried the onions here. So these ones are coming out pretty well. I don't know what's going on with these, but kind of giving that another shot because I'm not hopeful that these other onions are going to work. So that was troubleshooting number 2, was putting the lights closer. I don't think that worked. Here, I'll show you another example of why. This flower, this one right here, looked like this before. And then when I brought the lights closer, the leaves started to like close in and fold over and then kind of curled up and died. I think that it was trying to protect itself, maybe like give itself some shade from the light. So that was my first clue that my lights were too close. And, when I came home, like I said, everything just looked pretty sad. So I went back to trusting my gut and put the lights back up. And that's an interesting thing because I am new at this and I'm trying this stuff for the first time and I want to see what is going to work well. And there was something at the back of my head that just told me that the lights were fine where they were. I don't know, everything was showing me that it was doing well. I think the biggest thing that people saw was that my tomatoes were looking leggy, and so they thought that the light was too far away. And I can agree with that. You know, they look pretty stretched out. With tomatoes, you can plant them deeper and the whole stem will shoot out some roots to kind of keep it in there. So I'm not that worried about this right now. I have an idea for this that I'll share later, but I think this was like the main culprit of people saying that my lights were too far away, and everything else seemed to be doing fine. So these lights are pretty strong. As you can see, I have 2 on each rack. I was looking up what they are. They're 6,500 Kelvin and 4,200 lumen or lux L. And I saw that in my research, you know, it's like 5,000 Kelvin is where you want to be for light, like shop lights that you can use for this purpose. And I'm just wondering if maybe people have different light setups and it's working for them to have them right on top of the plant, but maybe because I have 2 and because of the strength of these lights that they're okay with where they are. I don't know, I'm guessing. I'm just gonna keep rolling with this and see. It seems like they're bouncing back, kind of, so I'm happy with putting my lights back up. So yeah, the lights was one of the troubleshooting things that I tried. Fertilization. So I mentioned when I came back home, I fertilized everything. Before I left, actually, the ones I was just showing you, these ones I fertilized. This was kind of an experiment of mine. I fertilized these ones before leaving. So these got a couple days ahead, and you can see like there. You can see that these are starting to grow their first set of true leaves, and they're looking pretty good. So I'm hoping that everything looks like this in 4 days. Comparing that to the jalapenos that have just started to kind of shoot up those true leaves in the middle there. You can see some of them. But that's how everything's looking. So I think they were okay with getting the fertilizer, and I think that maybe was a little helpful boost to keep them moving, keep them from dying a little bit. What I am really bummed about, and what I don't know if it's time to throw in the towel and help these guys stop trying to hold on to their life, is the strawberries and rosemary. So as you can see, I mean, not many of the rosemary has popped up, and what did pop up turned yellow. It kind of, you can see this one right here, it's like brown. These ones are turning really dark. This one up here is kind of yellow. And the strawberries, I mean, they were looking really good, and they started to get a little bit yellowed, and I don't know. So I fertilized these 2, and there hasn't been a huge change in them yet. My backup plan, honestly, is just, if this doesn't work, I'm just gonna get some strawberry plants that are already started and kind of use those. So I'm not, you know, completely devastated. I know I have a backup plan for all of this, but it would have been cool to do this myself and to see these grow. And they're just so small that I can't imagine transplanting these. I don't know how you even go about doing that. I assumed that they would get a lot bigger, and they're just not doing that yet. And maybe they will, but I don't know. I'm interested to see how that continues to go. So anyway, that's what I came home to, and that's what I did. Loofah hasn't come up yet. I don't know if Loofah's gonna want to come up for us, but still trying. I've been reading a lot and watching a lot of videos and trying to figure out what I'm doing, what I can do better. I'm seeing a lot of pictures on these Facebook groups that I'm part of, and their seedlings are just looking so healthy and a lot bigger. And I know I started all of this early. So in the back of my head, I'm thinking, why are mine not looking like that? Why are mine so small? Why are mine so dingy? Why are mine not growing the true leaves yet? I just feel like I'm behind everybody else, and I don't know how. And I think, you know, I need to take a step back from looking at all of that and comparing, because this is what I've got, and I got to try to just focus on this and see what changes I am seeing. And who knows, after seeing this update, I might notice that from the last time I showed these, they have grown. I really don't know. But I'm trying to be patient, and I'm trying to give myself some grace and understanding that I'm not going to have the same journey as everybody else. And I'm not doing this just for, you know, a bunch of tomatoes and a bunch of peppers at the end of the year. Like, that's going to be great. But I'm also really interested in doing this just to see how it all works and see how it grows and see what I can do. And just have fun along the way and really learn a lot of the lessons along the way. That's why I'm recording all of this, so that I can see next year what I did and what I tried to do to fix it and how I can make it even better year after year. So that's my real goal here. So I've tried a few things. I'm going to keep trying more things. I have seen, like I was starting to say, that people, when they're using the cocoa core, are not just using it on its own, maybe. I think by adding perlite and vermiculite, they're adding more ability for water to run through it and not hold on to water so much, which I think my medium has really been holding on to a lot of water, so I think that might be an issue. I've mentioned already that there's no nutrients in it, which could be, you know, could be okay in some circumstances, could be maybe helpful in others. I do have this. This is what I intended to get when I first started, because it has plant food in it, and I think when we open it up, I might see if it has vermiculite and perlite in it, and if it doesn't, maybe I'll consider adding it. And what I really want to do is do a side-by-side and see how these things are going and see how a different medium will help, because that might be the key here. I hope I'm explaining it. It makes sense in my head, but I don't know all of this for a fact, so I have a hard time trying to explain it because I'm still not confident in it. But my thought is to experiment with these tomatoes. So as you can see, each cell has at least 2, if not 3, tomato seedlings coming up in them. So what I want to do is take out 1 from each one and put that into a different soil mixture. I'm going to use that seed starting mix, and like I said, maybe add some vermiculite if it's not already in there, and leave it at that. Put these in and, you know, set them side by side and see if these ones stay stunted, if those other ones take off. That might help us figure out that this cocoa core isn't the best answer for me. We'll see. So that's what I'm going to do. And we'll kind of just, you know, keep tabs on it along the way and see what happens. And that's my hope. So that's my update. I know it's not that exciting. We're gonna try it out and just see what happens. Keep going forward, keep giving myself some grace, keep being comfortable failing forward, knowing that this is how I'm gonna learn. So that has been helpful. That's how I do things. That's how I'm gonna keep doing things. So we'll see. Feel free to leave any thoughts in the comments if you've tried any of this before, and if you've kind of figured out some things that work well for you, especially with that cocoa core. I'm not sure what I want to do with the rest of that. I might, you know, just add some stuff into it, maybe mix that in with it. I don't know. I'm not giving up. I'm not, you know, I'm gonna keep trying and keep figuring out what I can do to make these things as happy and as healthy as they can be. My backup plan is always just, you know, I'm still gonna have a garden if I have to go buy starts from a nursery or something like that. I'm gonna do this. This is just something that I wanted to try. So hopefully this works, but if not, I'm not devastated. It's not gonna ruin my plans for the summer. But yeah. Oh, I didn't even show you the lettuce. I don't know what to do about this either. I don't think it's necessarily looking bad, but again, I don't know. I don't know if I should be moving it into something else. It just seems like it hasn't really grown in a week or so. It gets to this point and then just stops. So this was part of what I did fertilize too, so maybe that will help, and maybe we'll see it kind of bump up a little bit with those extra nutrients. But yeah, all of this is fixable, I think. And if it's fixable by throwing it away and getting something else, then that's what I'll have to do. So yeah. It might take you along for switching out the tomatoes into another seed starting mix. So stay tuned for that. We'll put them side by side and see what we can do. All right, well, thanks for coming to hang out with me and seeing this update, even though it's not the best update. But it's all part of the journey. It's all part of it. So I appreciate you checking in with me. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see how these continue to do, if I can bring these back to life or if we go a different route. And yeah, comment if you have any ideas or if you want to share any kind words of encouragement so that we can kind of do this together. And I know that you're there cheering me on and figuring this out with me. All right, well, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.